John Birch was born on May 28, 1918 in Lundur, British India, now Uttarakhand, India. In 1920, when he was 2, the family left India and returned to the United States, where they were originally from. He graduated from Gore High School and then he enrolled at Mercer University in Macon. He wanted to become a missionary due to his religious upbringing, and in July 1940 he arrived in Shanghai, which at the time was under Japanese control. On October 1941, John Birch left Guangzhou on foot. He was stationed there a couple months after arriving in Shanghai, narrowly escaping Japanese troops on foot in order to run a religious mission station in Shangrao. On April 13, 1942, due to attacks on Pearl Harbor and Japanese atrocities he saw, John wrote to the American military mission in China, saying he wanted to join the army. After being recruited, he was kept in China as a spy. The Doolittle raid launched on April 18, 1942. It was the first time any Allied bombers hit mainland Japan. The planes used for this mission did not have the range to make it back home, so the plan was for the crews of the B-25 bombers to bail out over Chinese territory. After the Doolittle raid, John Birch coordinated the rescue of Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Doolittle and 4 of his crew after they bailed out over Japanese territory. When Doolittle arrived in Chongqing, a Chinese-controlled city, he told Colonel Claire Cherault, commander of the Flying Tigers, about John Birch. Birch became a member of the 23rd Fighter Group, who fought Japanese planes with their P-40 Warhawks. His activities, however, included setting up intelligence networks of sympathetic Chinese civilians, supplying Cherault with information on Japanese troop movements and shipping. He even set up radio intelligence networks, rescued downed American pilots, and even had 2 emergency aircraft runways built. After the formal Japanese surrender on August 15, 1945, OSS agents in China, like John Birch, were ordered to northern China to take the surrender of Japanese commanders at their installations. On August 20th, Birch's mission, under direct orders from Lieutenant General Albert C. Wendenmeyer, commander of U.S. forces in China, was to go to Shandong province to seize Japanese documents to obtain information on airfields from which American prisoners of war could be flown out. On August 25th, John Birch was executed by Chinese communists in a confrontation while refusing to give up his weapon. John Birch was chosen to be the name of the society due to his religious background as a preacher and his death at the hands of communists. Both John and the society held the belief that communism was an evil that could only be defeated by educating people on religion. They believed that religion was important to keep all forms of tyranny at bay. Where they differ, however, is how far right they were willing to go. John Birch saw the crimes of the Imperial Japanese and the brutality of the Chinese Civil War firsthand. He understood the balance needed between right and left, and John believed that the US and capitalism was the perfect balance, and he also believed that religion maintained this balance. The society, however, believed that communism had to be destroyed no matter what, even if it meant collaborating with fascists and dictators. Their focus, however, was on religion, and their actions, which included rallies, speeches, and spreading rumors, led to Christianity becoming a powerful force in deciding our democracy today. The John Birch Society was established on December 9, 1958, by a group of 12 people led by Robert Welch, Jr. Welch was a retired candy manufacturer from Belmont, Massachusetts. In 1954, Welch wrote a book about John Birch, and he named his new organization in memory of Birch, saying that Birch was an unknown but dedicated anti-communist, and the first American casualty of the Cold War. Welch alleged that a communist conspiracy within the American government had suppressed the truth about Birch's killing. The founding members of the JBS included Harry Lyde Bradley, co-founder of the Allen Bradley Company, and the Lyde and Harry Bradley Foundation; Robert Waring Stoddard, president of Wyman Gordon, a major industrial enterprise. Another was Revillo P. Oliver, a University of Illinois professor. In one of his speeches, Welch stated, "Both the U.S. and Soviet governments are controlled by the same conspiratorial cabal of internationalists, greedy bankers, and corrupt politicians. If left unexposed, the traitors inside the U.S. government would betray the country's sovereignty to the United Nations for a collectivist New World Order, managed by a one-world socialist government." End quote. Welch saw collectivism as the main threat to Western culture, and modern American liberals as secret communist traitors. The John Birch Society operated in groups. Each group had 10 to 20 members each, and each group had a leader appointed from an older group. And these groups were expected to meet at least twice a month. Members of groups that grew larger than 20 members were expected to break off and form a new, smaller group. One of the John Birch Society's first public events was called Get Us Out. The goal was to get the US out of the UN, as they believed the real goal of the UN was to build a one-world government which was led by communists and, quote, was going to launch an assault on Christmas to destroy all religious beliefs and customs, end quote. Many of the main points used by the modern right today were represented by the John Birch Society, although, as we will see, the John Birch Society was too extremist for many Republicans. One example is the campaign against the Second Summit between the United States and the Soviet Union, in which the Society told President Dwight D. Eisenhower, "If you go, don't come back." This campaign generated over 600,000 postcards and letters, according to the Society. And in 1961, William F. Buckley Jr., editor of the National Review, which was an influential conservative magazine, denounced Welch and the John Birch Society as, quote, "far removed from common sense," end quote, and urged the GOP to purge itself of Welch's influence during 1961. Even though the John Birch Society started to decline in the 1970s, we see many examples of JBS values coming back in the modern day, thanks to President Donald J. Trump. Examples such as removing support from the UN and foreign countries, in addition to supporting big business, has led to many speculating that the society might be coming back with a different name.